I wanted to show you guys this spreadsheet I created early on when I started collecting slot cars. And it's very useful to have something like this. Basically a catalog of everything you have. And it's good if you ever want to sell it. You know what you have, what you paid for it, etc. And I have this kind of spreadsheet for a lot of the things I collected, like the Magic and the football cards and everything. So what's really good is I wanted to take a look. And what I see here is on October 4th, 2000 is when I started buying and collecting slot cars. So about a day before, I was looking through this catalog called Harrington I got in the mail, and it was like a men's catalog. I've spoken about this before, and it had like different things like driving gloves and thermoses and keychains and knives, and it had this couple of pages, like a few pages on Skelectric cars and fly cars, and I was just like blown away. I'm like, look at this. This is a larger car than I had when I was a kid. I had the small HO cars, and the detail was amazing. So I immediately went online and I found a hobby shop in the Freehold Mall. I live in New Jersey, and I went and bought the Skelectric Le Mans set with the two Mercedes CLK cars, and that was a great start. And then I went to this store, Nostalgic Hobby, and it was in Scotch Plains, New Jersey. It was on Main Street, a small store, but it was just packed with slot cars. That's all they sold was slot cars. And I went and bought 4 cars that day. And I bought 2 Ninco Go Karts. That's what I'm going to show you today. That's why I'm showing you this. An SCX F1 and a Fly Special Edition Porsche GT198. So let's take a look. This is what the cars look like that I bought. So they were 2 cars that were separate. And it's interesting, like all the hundreds of cars he had there, the first 2 I bought were these go-karts. They just really stuck out to me. And as you guys know, I like kind of oddball stuff. So now these were very popular, and we would race them a lot. And we would put silicone tires on them. And the only adjustment we really did back then was we would loosen the screws on the driver and have them have a little looseness to them, and that would help with the handling. But like, it's amazing today what guys do when they race cars. It was much simpler time back then. There wasn't a lot that we did, and we just put them on the track and we raced them and had a lot of fun. These were a lot of fun. Now, they go on a 132 scale slot car track, but they're not 132 scale. Look at the size of that driver. I think they're closer to 1/18th scale. Now, if you notice, there's a little bit difference here with the way these guys are. Like the yellow car does not have, let me put them like this. The yellow car does not have a white suit like in the picture. This guy has a gray suit, and this guy doesn't have blue. He has a white suit. So I changed that up a little bit. So, if I have and then I bought this one separately. This is a nice one too, because it's a little bit different. It has a wing. It has a different front end. Let me push this back a little bit. A different front end, really cool livery. So what I like to do too is, my idea was to always have a car for each lane. I have a 4-lane track, and I have a red lane. I use the standard colors: red, white, yellow, and blue. So I have the 3 here, but where the heck is the red car? And that's what I'm going to really show you now. And I'll come back and talk about these a little bit too. So let's put these off to the side. And when I show you this new car, we'll see why these uniforms are different. So this is why I made this. So they had a car called Spider, and this was the driver that was in there. See, he has a Spider, driving suit on. And when I saw that, I'm like, wow, that would make a cool Spider-Man car, right? So I had this, I collect toys too. I had this toy, and what I was able to do was meld it together with, that's where I got the blue unit. The blue uniform here wound up being donated to make this guy. So that's why they're all mixed up a little bit. Let's take a look at this though. So let me take the case off. And so there's a lot going on here. I added this nice, cool decal. There's that he has a Spider-Man head, but there's a helmet here. I'm going to show you that. Let me take him off the base, and then we can look at the basic. Whoops, just broke that. Hold on. There we go. All right, now let me take a look underneath here. Okay, that's fine. That just fell off. But I was just looking at this car here, and for some reason it was cracked, the post here. So I just fixed that before we started the video. So, all right, so let me put this to the side, but let me take the helmet off. So how did I stick this helmet on here? Okay, he's stuck on. Oh, there's a little piece of foam there that holds that on with friction. All right, so that's pretty cool. And I'll show you how that works in a second. So like you know with me, nothing's straightforward, right? Let me put this piece back on. That should just slide on. Okay, so we have the Spider car, and now Spider-Man's in the car. Wow, look at how I did that. He's actually holding the driver's. See, these things I did so long ago, I don't remember what I did. So, he's got his hand ready to sling webs, and he's holding the steering wheel really well. And what's cool about this is I hollowed this out. That takes a lot of patience, and that goes on too. So, I mean, how cool is that? So you got Spider-Man, and then if you want him to be helmeted, so I'm guessing these are solid. I don't even know, and I must have spent a lot of time getting that right. And there's a little piece of foam in there that helps it stick on. So very cool. Of course, it has a Johnny Racer little emblem on there. So let's take a look at the slot car. This one is cool too. It has different front than the other different front than this. Different front, right? And this one has a different front. So they were all a little different with the molding. So very cool. And then, so what they all have is they all have front wheel steering, which really doesn't change the performance of the car. It's just like a cool little gadget. And they have an HO style motor, that Ninco's own motor. And we would use slip-on silicone tires. And like I said, we would loosen the screw to make it a little bit better handling because you don't want it too tight. This one's actually tightened up. And there was not too much other than having fun with it. Those are the magnets. You can see the magnets there. They didn't really do much, right? Those are pretty tiny. So, but we had a lot of fun with them. And this is a special one that I made. So this blue suit is the driver from this car. And then I added the arms from this toy and the head. And then I repurposed the helmet to fit on top. So just another one of my projects, my novelty car projects. I wouldn't call this a TV movie car because I don't think Spider-Man drove, go-karts and stuff. No, I really am amazed how that really... I must have cut the wheel here. So he has a hand here that's holding the rope. So what I'm guessing I did was I cut the wheel here and I fed it in on both sides because that's really on there. That looks pretty cool. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this. Try and pick these up. Ninco is no longer making cars. So, this is something a little different. And like I said, if you could get a couple of them, you'll have a lot of fun with them. And Ninco Go Karts from the about 2000 era, long discontinued and not made anymore. They're probably a little expensive on eBay, but they pop up. You could put into eBay like a string that'll give you an email whenever some of these cars pop up, and I'll do that for certain cars. So I do have the red lane, the white lane, the yellow lane, and the blue lane. So there you go. All right, I hope you enjoyed watching it. I'm having a lot of fun with these videos. I hope you guys are enjoying watching them. Have a great day. And we're right before Thanksgiving. Everyone have a great Thanksgiving and be thankful for what we have and for our slot cars. Thank you. Goodbye.